Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park for a Friday edition of Today at the Races. I'm Dan Illman along with Keith Fuster. We got 11 on tap today, Keith. First day of our closing weekend.
An extravaganza. I mean, you talk about some good racing for the next 3 days to close out this summer meet. Phenomenal job by the racing office, everybody together. Stakes looking good. Some really quality animals tomorrow we're going to get a chance to see. But I just like the trend that we've been on with the prices. The value has been here. I mean, evident at Laurel. We had some great carryovers leading into that Sunday card. The money show, we were almost $400,000 in that early pick five, close to $200,000 in the pool for the late pick five. Some great payouts. I mean, please be playing along with us because you get a chance to really make some scores.
And you're right. The racing office has done a sensational job. Big fields. They lead to sometimes chaotic results. We've seen these big prices. And listen, if you're smarter than we are, you're cashing on some of these horses. Hopefully, we will have some strong opinions. Jackpot Super High 5 carryover today, over $29,000. That pot is expected to really keep growing over the next couple of days, especially if no one hits it today. It's cooled off noticeably, but tomorrow is going to be hot. DeFrancis Dash Day. We've got 4 stakes races totaling $550,000 in purses. The historic Frank J. DeFrancis Memorial Dash for 6 furlongs. The defending champion Dean Delivers is back for Ned Allard.
And he's coming off a little prep race up at Monmouth. Subrogate out of that race. Those two going to renew that little bit of a rivalry. Celtic Contender, the local horse for Hammy Smith, and boy, he doesn't miss a dance. And he's going to be knocking right there on the door, I think, when it's all said and done. I like Celtic Contender tomorrow, but looking at this whole stakes lineup, really good. We've added some to the pots and waiting for to the France. I think we're going to get it back to the prominence that it once was. What a great horse race this has become, and I think we'll get back to let's get it back to Grady down the road.
We're getting there, and the deputed testimony is going to have a heavy favor. His name is post time. He's the Maryland-bred Horse of the Year. He just ran a sensational third in the Blame behind Kentucky Derby winner Mystic Dan, considering that he was over and behind horses in the stretch and trying to make up ground. He's going to be real tough. This is his home court. Talk about a horse for course. He's a 8 for 8 here?
8 for 8. Yeah, just absolute perfection. He's had the blinkers on the last 2 tries. We talked about it before the show. I mean, his numbers haven't really taken that jump that we thought they might. That'll be third back, I guess. A little bit of a break. So
third time.
Going to be an awfully short price when it's all said and done in that. But a couple other stakes, some really nice races on tap for tomorrow's card and today and Sunday.
Yep, Trickery looks to rebound to the Prince George's County. We'll see if Mystic Lake is here for the Alma North. She's got big speed. She's done some good things in Maryland in the past as well. I think she won the Miss Preakness a while back at Pimlico.
Believe
I think so.
Yes.
It's cooled off noticeably, though. I mentioned it before. Let's take a look at our weather conditions. Fast and firm, and the temperature is nice. 68 degrees. It's not 95. There are no heat index warnings. This is what I like to see. Fast and firm. These horses get a little bit of relief. But let's kick things off with race number 1, going 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. It's for 3 and up. We've started for a claiming price of 8 or less in their last 3, or claiming 12.5 down to 10. Take out the 2, the 7, the 9, the 10, the 11, the 12, and the 14. This is the first leg of our first of 2 value pick 5 wagers. We call it the value pick 5 because there's no better value in racing. 12% low takeout, and Keith, as you've been mentioning, the fans have been supporting the product, and why not? They get to really maximize their potential with the 12% takeout.
Yes, and that is the key. It is a challenge, and you're going to be rewarded if you can take it down. I've got a pick 5 ticket today. Fairly reasonable, $36. This first race really changed the complexion with some of these scratches. I hated to see that. I'm going to try to get one of these Nesses home, the 3, Joe, or the 8, uninvited guest. Uninvited guest, I don't know if he knows where the winner's circle is. It's been a while. We're going to try to get him back there today. Race 2 with the 5 and the 7. She's a hot mess. I'd like to see that one try to go to the front. She got the money for Carlos Mancilla. We've got a stat for that one. Race 3, 3 deep with the 5, the 9, and 11. Really good race there in race number 3, the 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. Scratch the 3 holdout and a couple other of those main track onlys. Let's go to race 4 with the 3, 4, and 9. 2-year-olds going to showcase. They're going 5.5. Scratch the 1, the 2, and the 6. Brittany Russell, Tim Ham with the first coming, been working over there in Kentucky or at Ohio, but Jen Dioro could be live in today's 4th. We're going to complete this early value pick 5 in race 5 with the 2 and the 6. Fear nothing, a little price play for Hammy at a 10-1 morning line, $36. So you may have to go a little bit deeper than that, but there's a good start for you.
So you got your top 2 in race number 1. Both these horses coming off long losing streak.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your top selection, the number 8, uninvited guest. Looks like this guy's just racing himself back into shape. It's his 3rd start off of a February layoff for Jamie Ness, and I think if the pace isn't fast, he can be a little bit closer. Really, for him, it's all about whether he gets the right setup.
That's the thing. The kick is a grinding kick, and this race really changed with some of these scratches. I thought coach's meeting would be forward. Masacato, last time out, tried to take advantage of a fairly paceless race on paper and went to the front. I think he can lay close enough. If he's more than 2 or 3 out of it at the quarter pole, I'm really going to be concerned. I don't know if he can grind it out from there. As you said, it's been a long time. Who do you think goes? Do you think Consultant possibly goes again? Because I was expecting him to take a little bit further back with Caramanos. He's had some good success off the pace. Or a horse like Big Star now from the inside. Colpadoro is fresh. Really, really tricky for me to try and envision how this first race is going to develop at the 1 mile and the 16th on the turf.
I wonder if Big Star is going to go out of there because he was just saddled with a tough post last time out and just couldn't get forward from post 10. Now breaking from the rail, I think he is going to be close to the pace. I think Ruiz will either have him on the lead or sitting in pocket position. So uninvited guest hasn't won since the end of 2023. It's been over 3 years for Joe, the number 3. But we know what Joe can do when he's right. He's not the same horse, obviously, that won the Tessio on dirt and the Murphy on turf as a 3-year-old, but his last race was good enough. He showed tactical speed to track in the second flight on the outside. He dropped down to the rail on the turn, cut the corner into the stretch. He had to kind of alter course back sharply to the rail and upper stretch. He was running on at the end of that race, and I think a repeat of that performance makes him real tough.
And I wonder, he kind of got down inside. He had to wait. He was paused a little bit upper stretch when he dropped down. He made that move. Maybe to even see coach's meeting outside and just got nailed. Maybe a little bit of an outside run will work better for Joe. But you're right. Both these Nesses, it's been a long time. I'm going to try to get one of them into that circle.
You have always gambling in as sort of an underneath play in here. This horse could spice up your exotics.
This is a horse that you liked last time, if I'm not mistaken, at close to 7-1. Had some issues, was down inside, had to wait around the quarter pole, worked outward. The only thing I would have liked to have seen a little bit more kick. Was trying at the end. I was expecting a little bit more punch, but wouldn't be a complete surprise in here getting that extra 16th of a mile.
And Prince Kozan wouldn't be a surprise either. You just look at his 1, 2, 3, 4 last 5 races on turf. Beyer speed figures between 76 and 79.
Yeah.
That's pretty good compared with the rest of the horses in this race. Prince Kozan fits, but he's another horse that needs a little bit of pace help.
It was, and he looked a little bit closer last time. Only 4 out of it, out of some quick internals there. They picked it up, leaving the 3/8 pole to the quarter pole. Was still trying enough. Another one, maybe a little bit of an outer run. He'll sustain a little bit better, but Betty McHugh's done a phenomenal job with this guy. Really, really nice job for Betty, and I think he is a definite player here. I think Uninvited Guest and Prince Kozan come out of the better race. We're going to just see what happens here in the first.
Same exactly, different order. Keith's going 8-3-6-4. I'm going 8-13-4 in the opener at Laurel Park on Friday. Let's move to the main track for race number 2. It's a 1-turn mile event. Maiden claimers for fillies and mares 10 down to 8. The Maryland breds eligible for a 12-5 tag. Field of 7 in here. It is the first leg of the first of 3 pick 4 wagers, 50-cent minimum. Keith's mentioned the pick 4 payouts, the pick 5 payouts. They have been huge recently. And maybe we'll get another huge payout in here. Keith, you like the 5. She's a hot mess.
Yeah, I think Carlos Mencia, his horse is the 1 and the 7. They're clearly the horses to beat. They've been proven to get the route of ground. We're going the 1-turn mile. She's a hot mess has been a horse that's kind of run a little bit in spots in her races. The key is the opening quarter. 5/16 of a mile. Can she shake clear? I think if she does and she relaxes just a little bit, looking at her breeding, I think she can stretch out and get this mile distance and maybe pull a mild upset on the front end. But clearly, I think the horses she's going to have to fend off are the 1 and the 7.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the 7. She got the money because we have a trainer stat for who else? Carlos Mencia. He's been doing very well recently. Turf to dirt, 4 for the last 15. Look at that ROI, $6.83. So they gave She Got the Money a try on turf last time out, but I think this horse might be better on the dirt. His race 2 starts back. He was kind of 4 wide on the turn, flattened out. And it's understandable that he flattened out, especially considering it was his first start off of a short layoff. I think the pace will be fair for him. I think the long stretch works. He's very logical. She's very logical.
Yeah, she's extremely logical. Wicked Melissa, they took the blinkers back off last time, and that kind of got her back on her game. You see where she is. She's about that 38 to 40 Beyer speed figure. She was just behind her stablemate. She Got the Money in that race, the Lord's Lady race on April the 12th. Really kind of tough to separate. Both of them had overland trips and tried to move into a slower pace just to flatten a little bit. I'm just hoping maybe I'm thinking the only horse that can go with me, St. Grace possibly fill the boat. I don't know. I think she's a hot mess. Can clear.
I think
sure hoping she
stretching
can
out in distance
and dictate. Yeah,
she's a hot mess. Expected to make the early running, and we'll see if she can stay the mile in race number 2. You're going with the Jason Smith train. She's a hot mess. 5-7-1-2. I'll go 1-7-2-5. Wicked Melissa chased that impressive debut winner Fabia last time out. Just couldn't make up any late ground. I think this might be a better spot for her. Race number 3 is back on the lawn. Mile and a 16th, claiming race for 3 and up, 40 down to 32 the claiming price. Never won 3 races or the open 3-year-olds. Take out the 3 Hold Out, the 12 Lil Sebastian, the 13 Steady John, the 7 My Imagination will be ridden by Michael Sanchez. Keith, you like Brittany Russell in here? The 9 Curly, Larry, and Mo.
Curly, Larry, and Mo. Yeah, we got to go back a little bit. A similar kind of pattern on a barn change car. Maury right to the front in 2023. Just gets beat at the wire. Hard spun Reason, a good group there. Faced really tough competition over at Pimlico. You see that company, Sharp Tones, Army Officer. Wow, what a summer. And the 2 other than. Okay, we're back to a condition claimer. I think he is the speed. I think he can go out there, he can rate and get it done, and just last on the front end.
And he just went too fast last time out over a turf course that had a lot of give to it. And you're right, that race was dominated by closers. Those were better horses, second-level allowance types. Back in the Brittany barn, this horse is going to show good early speed in here and is the one to catch and arguably one to beat. Let's talk a little bit about Naptown. We have a video spotlight on Naptown, our second choice in this race. Naptown looked really strong last time out. Remember that this guy had shown some stakes ability earlier in his career. We were wondering, why is Graham dropping this horse in for 40 off the layoff? He got a perfect trip, but watch him sprint on home.
Oh, he really, really puts on a move here, upper stretch. He's going to get the seam right along the inside, and he showed some eagerness early. The opening quarter of a mile, he was up with it, took back, and then got in that like perfect pocket trip, relaxed. This is an explosive move, I think, kicking away in this final eighth of a mile. The outside horse has a charge. No shot of getting to Naptown. First time gelding was Naptown last time. The most intriguing thing to me is, why are you back in for 40,000?
That's a very good point, because not only did he show that renewed tactical speed, not only did he show the strong kick, he beat 3 next down winners in that race. The runner-up came back, won a $40,000 beaten claimer at Monmouth with a big 78 Beyer speed figure. Got a chance to take a look at one of his workouts. Graham puts him up on his website. Looked good on that June 21st work. He was with a horse named Incheon, got a head better, galloped out 5 in front. I think Naptown seems like he's coming into this race in good form. Let's talk about my top pick, the number 8, Laszlo. We do have a trainer stat for Ricky Silliman. Last out winners first off the claim. 5 for the last 24, 21% to 262 ROI. This horse began his career out in Southern California, and then he returned off about a 6-month layoff. And we were saying, well, his Beyer speed figures over there were kind of light. But remember, those were 2-year-old and very early 3-year-old numbers. And Laszlo ran well. He got another very good trip. Similar trip to Naptown. Broke well, pulled a little bit, settled into the garden, the rail was open for him, and he shot on through. This is a step up in class, but I still think this horse has some upside.
You got a horse. He's won 3 races, right? I don't think anybody else in this group has.
Take advantage of the 3-year-old beating.
Can take advantage of that condition. I was kind of against him last time. I'm going to try to beat him today, but that's a good stat there for Ricky Silliman. You've got an interesting horse as a price. The one, Baby Oscar, I thought Matilda Burnham gave a great ride to this Nilesville runner last time out.
Matilda Burnham just fits this horse very, very well. When you take a look at what she's done with Baby Oscar, last time out she was able to get this horse right down to the rail. The pace went, she got Baby Oscar relaxed, and Baby Oscar kicked on home. Go back to Matilda's ride in the seasonal debut, 3 starts back, just walking the dog on the lead, 24-1, 50 flat. So it's nice to know that Baby Oscar is a two-way threat. Can lead, can rate, and seems to have a little bit of upside for a barn that, as you mentioned, is going very well. Classic joke you have in the mix. I've been a big fan of this horse. I've been waiting for him, and we have a video spotlight.
I used him last time on the main track. He had a little bit of trouble there, but we're going to go back to the turf try. 3 races back on the page, April the 27th. Had position inside and just gets stalled here coming to the quarter pole. We're going to watch it there, the 11 with the yellow cap, the yellow silks, waiting and waiting and waiting. The eventual winner, Missionaire, is going to have that clean air trip, has all of the momentum, but man, this guy finds more. He shifts out mid-stretch, really brings a charge to the last 16th of a mile just to fall short. Tried the dirt at a mile and a 16th, caught wide, then shortened up to 7/8. Now moving back outside. That's kind of my concern. Who is he? Where's he going to kind of get positioned through the opening quarter of a mile? But I like that finish that he brought to the table. A mile and 16th, again, might be pushing it, extending it. But that was an okay group. Can he drop in, get a little bit of a flow, get some cover to bring that finish? Well, I thought that was a really good race, 3 races back.
He's going to follow Curly, Larry, and Mo out there and hope to drop in a little bit. I expect Curly, Larry, and Mo to kind of be freewheeling on the front, and maybe he'll be able to tuck in. I do think he has some back class, has some ability. The distance is a bit of a question mark, as you mentioned, from this tough post position. You're going 9, 5, 11, and 8. I'm going 8, 5, 1, and 11 in race number 3. Race number 4 is for the babies. 5.5 furlongs. Maryland bred or sired, 2-year-old fillies. $45,000 is the purse. Let's take out the 1, the 2, and the 6. And it kind of leaves us with 2 first-time starters that I think are going to take a lot of money. The 3 Dazzling Dame, the 4 Jen Dioro. Many folks are going to use these horses in their middle 50-cent pick 4. We'll begin with Dazzling Dame, Brittany Russell trained, daughter of Gervin. The Gervins do well first time out. This horse sold for $45,000 as a juvenile after breezing 2 furlongs in 21 seconds flat, and there's just a lot of precocity in this pedigree.
Yeah, there is. Win early, you would think, on the top side. Now, the mare's had 3 starters. None of them have hit the board first time out. A sharp bullet work a couple works back, June 13th. Interesting to see. Sheldon was on the overnight. We're going to go to Toledo. I was trying to read into that a little bit. I will try to beat Dazzling Dame. It might be a tough thing to do with Jen D'Oro. $140,000 purchase down at Keeneland 24 sale by Bolt D'Oro, who will get you a horse to win first time out in that 16 to 17% range. Bottom side, this is the mare's first foal, but she was good. She was a horse that ran around here. I think she tried Laurel one time. She did win her debut, maiden special weight at Penn National with 66. Tearing it up at Belterra. Had some works earlier on down at Tampa. Tim Ham looked over the last 5 years. He's 14, 15% with his first-time starters. Very capable. A horse bred by Country Life. Here for a reason in the state-bred maiden special weight. They got J-Rod.
Yeah, Tim Ham excels over the years with 2-year-old first-time starters. He's even sent a few up to Saratoga and has done very, very well. I'm expecting Jen Dior to be ready to go. And again, watch the board when you're kicking off your middle pick 4. It could tell you the story. I'm going to go with a little bit of a outlier play. First, we'll go about Dazzling Dame. We got a Brittany Russell trainer stat, of course. Gervin filly, 2-year-old debut runners recently, 4 for the last 11, 36%, 227 ROI, bullet workout at Fairgrounds. Basically, Dazzling Dame's PP speak for themselves, and she doesn't even have any running lines. Tacit Value is raced once. She's by Tacitus, a horse who was a little bit of a long-winded sort. I thought she ran okay for Bobby Lee first time out. She didn't break very well. She dropped inside. She took some dirt in her face while in mid-pack. She eased to the outside, and she ran on a little bit at the end. I thought it was a really good learning debut. I won't be surprised if she shows a little bit more speed in this race. And again, experience often counts in these races. Sometimes you take the experienced one over the first-time starters.
I thought it was a really good race. I actually went back and edited the note on this race. I went back the other day and I looked at this race again. I couldn't get it in time, but yeah, a little bit of a step slow, then a quick steady. It was hard to pick up the first time around, then took the kick back, even a light pause into the turn after making that move. Showing a couple different moves and got out wide and finished up well. Yeah, Tacit Value, a definite use here in race 4 for Bobby Leaf.
Talk about Barbados Bulldog. You like this horse a little bit in the debut. She really threw a fit in here. She was really anxious in the post parade and in the warm up. Maybe she benefits from the experience because she didn't actually have a great trip.
No, did not have a great trip. A win early family. I think there was 4 debut winners out of that family, and Corrales trained one of them. A little hop at the break, then a quick move into it before checking. She got all discombobulated. You talked about the issues in the paddock. She wasn't tied on. She's going to gain from that experience.
Race number 4, you're going 4, 9, 3, and 7. Again, Tim Ham just excellent with first-time starts. We'll see if the Tacitus 2-year-old can improve in the second lifetime start for me. 9, 3, 4, and 5. Race number 5, 7/8 of a mile, 3 and up, started for a claiming price of 25 or less, and which have never won 2 or the claiming 25 down to 20. Now winners of 2 life condition, field of 7 in here. We'll start things off with our morning line favorite, a horse that we're slightly against. We picked him second. That's the number 2 Key Stat, and Key Stat has 7 second-place finishes from 11 lifetime starts, including this effort last time out. A good try first off the Farrier claim.
Yeah, Farrier off the claim, and we're going to bring you a stat after this video. But look at the start. Just kind of taken right out of it. Maybe a beat slow, but then was pinched, knocked around pretty good there in the opening strides. And right there, all of a sudden, you're 5 out of it, leaving the chute. And look at the internals. You're caught behind 24, 48, and 3. Joe the Jet, who likes a track with a little bit of moisture. And that track, I believe, changed, and it was over from here. But look at this little move. A little pause inside at the quarter. Little tap of the brakes behind the gray. Joe the Jet now 5, 6 in front, turning for home. But he's going to ease out. And Keystat's going to bring a good, willing finish, only to beaten 3 1/4 when it's all said and done. Hanging a little bit on that little fleet switches over there, and really finished with good energy. Farrier, we're going to show the stat in a second. I think a little bit more flow, which he might get today, makes him a factor from just off of it.
Yeah, if he breaks, he may not even need the flow because he can put himself into the race. And Farrier recently has been doing very well between June 9th and the 24th. 13 for 33, a positive return on investment. So a little bit of seconditis for Key Stat, but that last race, you're right. The start just brutalized him, especially the way the race was then run. Paceless race, dominated up front. You're going to go with the 6, however. That's Fear Nothing for Hammy Smith. I like this turf to dirt move.
Yeah, this is like a little sneaky play for me. Robin and I were talking about this one yesterday. They keep protecting Fear Nothing. Turf to dirt has worked for Hammy Smith. 24% we talked about before the show. The barn's starting to tick upward a little bit. I think he's the speed of the speed, and I think if he can get like a Joe the Jet trip, break sharp, pop clear a little bit, and then slow things down, get a little breather around the turn, I think he can stretch it to 7/8 of a mile.
The last race is a throwout because it was the turf race, obviously, and I honestly believe the race 2 starts back was a throwout as well because he just got hooked up in a duel with a very sharp horse in Schrader, and he paid the price. You're right. This time around, he might not have to work as hard as all to get to the early lead, and he should be a decent price based on those two recent running lines. Interesting top selection, certainly, with Fear Nothing. Tapazar's Temper is sort of the stranger in here. My pick, the number 7. This horse coming off of a good performance at Monmouth last time out. First time for Jane Sibeli. Kind of pushed the pace in between horses and then just couldn't go with the top 2 finishers on the turn. Re-rallied a bit to finish second, only beaten a length. This outside post position is going to work for Tapazar's Temper, who I think is just going to follow Fear Nothing out of there, try to perch himself right off of Fear Nothing's flank and attack on the turn, and we'll see if he's good enough.
Yeah, second time gelding for Sibeli. Definite improvement there last time. I'm a little concerned about who he faced.
Yeah.
You know, some of these horses I was familiar with from running at Laurel, a little bit of some teasers, but definitely moved up, had the moisture in the track. That could have added to it, but I think Tapazar's Temper should sit a great trip out here. If a horse like Sandini wants to go with my top selection, lifting possibly could go as well. But Blow By Him, I'm not going to completely dismiss.
No.
You don't have this one in the mix, but another one, hopped at the break, was bounced around at the start last time, just kind of backed right out of it, showed no interest. But the 2 and 3 back tries, they're good enough. And I think if things get heated, Blow By Him makes that run. Sometimes he stays on that left lead. 7/8, maybe a flatten. But again, still protecting, similar to Fear Nothing. It makes me want to go ahead and use this one.
And the one lifting is getting significant class relief after campaigning in 3 first-level allowance races. Draws inside. I think has a little bit more early speed than shown. I think he'll benefit a little bit off of this layoff. He was listed as a scratch on June the 8th, but is back in 19 days. Lifting fits at this level. It's a pretty competitive race.
It is.
6-2, 4 and 7 for Keith. 7-2, 1 and 6 for me. And Key Stat, the 2, might very well be the horse to beat. We move on to race number 6, 5.5 furlongs on the turf. It's a maiden claiming event, 16 down to 12.5, with Maryland breds eligible for the $20,000 claiming price. Take out the 12 D Hopper, the 14 Go to Bingo, the 15 Patio Gear, the 13 Salvo Trigger draws into the body of this race. We're both going to talk about the Jackpot Super High Five. $1 minimum wager, 15% takeout, and this carryover is really moving. Close to $30,000 right now, and again, this is your typical Jackpot Super High Five race. Full field of 12, and anything can happen. It's also the first leg of our Chesapeake Pick 6 jackpot wager. And remember, on Sunday, closing day of the meet, they're mandatory payouts in any wager with carryover potential.
I love it. I hope we get a couple there. That would be beautiful. Love those days when we try to close it out and finish out a meet with a really good score that could take us through a little bit of the break. But now this race, we're both on the 9. Damon getting it back together a little bit. Super Lasting Secret, mare bottom side was okay. Out of a quick race. Look at those internals. 22 and 144 and 2 was close enough, and just the slightest to fade. Key race, knocking there. Sure meant to be some fast horses. There's nobody like that in there. I think this horse can mix it up and stay around and last against this group.
And that's really the key, the class drop for me. Super Lasting Secret, you mentioned. the 2 next out winners. There was another one in there. Nakanara came back on a 78 buyer when he won a race at Delaware. Super Lasting Secret was close to those fast fractions. It was a good trip, and he got a little bit tired at the end, and that's fine. Now it's second off the layoff. He should get close to the pace. Spy Wars and Band Tour come out of the same race. We have to show this video, especially with Spy Wars, who just had a brutal trip.
Yeah, watch this turning for home. Top of the stretch and picked it up and just nowhere to go. Was down inside, steadied 16th pole. We're going to see this in the orange cap coming up here to about the 16th pole. Finally starting gathering the momentum, and right here, block behind 2 horses, drops inside, and again.
Moving.
Yeah, butt moving. Okay,
no.
horse drifts in. Now we're going to work out. And finishing up quite well on the far outside, Bantour with a rush. Oof, just missed. Bantour, you know, this is his game. He likes the 5.5. He likes a little flow. He's going to bring the run. But I think Spy Wars, I'm going to give him a little edge. Needed that first race. Might move up with that experience under his belt.
He seemed a little bit green in that race, Spy Wars. I wonder if maybe he caused a little bit of his own trouble because he was green. But I like that Linda Albert immediately puts the blinkers on to trying to get a little bit more focus in Spy Wars. That was a really nice performance. And he took a little bit of money that day, too, 13-1 in a 12-horse field. As for Band Tour, again, he's just rock solid. I know he's 0 for 23, but that last race was a breakthrough performance, and he might be ready to go. Third start of the form cycle. Let's talk a little bit about the number 13. Salvo Trigger, who draws into the body of the race. I think this horse can trip out from tracking range as he did last time out. He sat in a good position. He made a move. He was really grinding it out, and he just lost a blanket finish.
Oh, yeah, he was in that race that we just showed and caught from that outside post. Maybe has a chance. I know he's drawn outside again, but with his speed, to not be hung out as much into and around the turn. So I think he's going to be forward. Matilda will put this horse in a mix. And I tell you what, very grudgingly, you know, this horse tried right to the wire. How do you leave this one out of your super high 5 ticket? It's challenging again. $29,000 to start you in this carryover for the jackpot super high 5 in race number 6.
But we're hoping the class drop gets it done for Super Lasting Secret. 9, 1, 11, 13 for Keith. 9, 13, 11, 1 for me in race number 6. We're halfway through, we're almost over halfway through our card here on Friday. 6 down, 5 to go, which means when we return from this break, it's the late value pick 5.
Got it.
When it comes to getting back in the game, there's only one team to turn to. The team more high school, collegiate, and professional athletes train and recover with. That team is MedStar Sports Medicine. For more than 30 years, MedStar has served as a leader in the diagnosis, treatment, and rehabilitation of orthopedic and sports-related injuries. Ranked among the top programs in the Maryland and Washington regions, we offer rapid access to athletes of all levels. Let the pros who treat the pros treat you. MedStar Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to Today at the Races. I'm Dan. He's Keith. Final 3 days of our meet here at Laurel Park, and we'll take a look at race number 7. 6 furlong event, maiden claimer 16 down to 12.5. Maryland breds eligible for the $20,000 tag. Take out the 2, take out the 9. The first leg of our final value pick 5 of the afternoon. It's our late pick 5, and it has a low 12% takeout. Get involved in these wagers. Again, it's just very efficient to maximize your investment potential.
Agree completely. Callie's got a ticket today. 12% takeout again, 50-cent minimum wager. She's got a $27 ticket. All right, get you started. 3, 5, and 7. Speedy Alex, Mr. On High, who I definitely think will be a price. Nice little value play there, Callie, and head of the class in race number 7. Race number 8, Callie's got the 2, 4, and 10. Really nice little 2 other than allowance at a mile on the turf. Take out that MTO. I'm a cutie pie. 2, 4, and 10. Wonderful lady. Charm Way at some value. It's one I like today in the 10. Struts her stuff. Race 9. Just 2 in here. Trims it down to the 1. Noah Chance and the 12. Upside Down Man. Scratch the 5. Scratch the 7. Noah Chance. We've got a video spotlight of that Jerry Robb runner. Race number 10. The 1, 5, and 6. Evenly matched field of 6 going a mile and a 16th. 2 other than for the girls. Wrap it up. Here it is.
Dramatic single.
Whittled down. Drum roll, please, to the 5. My Brazilian Girl at 7 to 5 on the morning line with J-Rod. Another one we've got a video spotlight on today. Had a lot of trouble early in its most recent race. will get a lot of play here in race 11. She's going to try to get you there and get you home with that single with My Brazilian Girl. Callie Francois with a $27 late value pick 5.
Your top selection in race number 7 is one of Callie's 3 runners in her pick 5 ticket. That's the 7 head of the class. It just looks like the speed of this race. And head of the class last time, I just think went way too fast up front. I know those fractions look reasonable, 23 and 2, but for $25,000 maiden claimers on a wet track, 23 and 2 to me is fast. And head of the class had to work to get to the lead. He came off the rail in the stretch, and he held on for third. If he doesn't have to go as fast here, he's going to be real tough.
And the way he got to that early lead, there's the comment right in your short comment, rushed.
Yes.
Okay, if we can get out there a little bit easier, not putting too much pressure on this guy. Kieran put the extension blanker on that race at Penny, got in some trouble, still trying, ran a much straighter course today. It's his race to lose on the front end.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the horses that he finished ahead of came right back to win with a 46 Beyer speed figure. His speed, and he could be the horse to catch and beat. Dad Joke has a couple of angles in this race. Turf to dirt. He's another one taking a pretty big drop in class. When he's been racing on dirt, it's been for the waiver recently. His race 2 starts back. He kind of had to alter course outside a bit. He didn't threaten. He was also 78 to 1. He wasn't supposed to threaten in that race. I just think with some class relief, Dad Joke is a horse at a price that you might want to consider because his figure from 2 starts back puts him right there.
Yeah, checking back on the family line, you thought this one was going to be a little bit better. Hasn't quite turned out yet, but he was trending in the right direction before that turf try. Turf to dirt has been okay in the past for Damon. He'd like to see a little bit of a contested flow, but I think he's making some strides here on the main track. He's getting what he needs. He's getting that drop in class. I think that's going to enhance the run.
Is Speedy Alex fast enough to push head of the class early? Because last time out he really broke sharp and he pressed the odds-on favorite, a horse that tired to finish behind Speedy Alex in 4th. He really battled that horse. It took him a while to change leads, and he was very game to finish 2nd. Maybe he can sit off for the lead going 6. I wish he was breaking outside of the 7 head of the class, which would give jockey Andres Chavez a little bit, a couple of more options. But it looks like Speedy Alex has come back off this layoff in much better form.
He was gelded, 2 races back. Improvement. That could have been just the whole big change there for Speedy Alex. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think he's going to be forward enough. What will Lopez do? Will he try to kind of tighten him up a little bit inside and make him right back and go around? We'll see. I think Speedy Alex, just let that horse go and then work it out. Just don't get yourself caught in any kind of odd predicament through the opening quarter of a mile. I think he's going to be fine. He's going the right way here since being gelded.
You're going 7, 6, 3, and 4. I'm going 6, 3, 7, and 1. We'll see if Speedy Alex tries to put a little bit of heat on head of the class in the early portion of this race. Race number 8 at a mile on the turf. Fillies and mares 3 and up. Non-winners at 2 other than. Claiming option 40 down to 32. Take out the 8. I'm a cutie pie. The 3 payout ratio will be ridden by Jan Rodriguez. Jay Rivers will be piloted by Horacio Caramanos. Don't Tell Kelly will be booted home by J.G. Torre Alba. Race number 8 is the first leg of our final pick 4 of the afternoon. Again, a 50-cent minimum play. Let's start things off with the 9, Pulp Fiction. This is sort of the stranger in this race. This horse showed a lot of ability on dirt in Argentina, a Group 1 winner there last year. Raced once on dirt at Keeneland against some pretty good competition. I believe he was wired that day. He faced a couple of next out winners, one coming back and winning a second level allowance with an 81 Beyer. I'm just going to take a chance that Graham's going to have this one ready for turf. We do have a trainer stat. You don't worry about layoffs for Graham. First after the 61 to 120 day layoff, 22% with a big sample and a positive ROI.
Yeah, I could not get a good read or feel on Pulp Fiction. Definitely going to use within the exactas because I'm around a couple horses that I think will be okay prices in race 8. This is a really, really, really good horse race, the 2 other than for the Fillies and mares. I go top with the 4. I'm back and forth, but obviously between the 4 and the 10, I'm going to lean Charm Way. I just think if I get a chance to get a little bit of value with a Brittany Russell runner, I think I'm going to take it, definitely going to take it. And this is a mare that's run well over this turf course. She's freshened up, first time in the barn. I believe this owner and Brittany teamed up for in this moment, a big improvement on the lawn a couple months back, month or 2 back. But Charm Way, I like the race. You're going back on the page back in April of last year, sitting a couple lengths out of it, making that run, cut from class. That's a horse out of that race, came back
Stakes
to
horse.
run big in the Big Dreyfus. I just think this horse got enough tactical speed to get positioned. The flow's going to be there. Payout ratio, we know, wants to go the 3. The other speed was Bay Street. Bay Street is an improving horse. This horse is running well. I think you're going to see those two set up shop again. Bay Street make that move. She's been fighting it out to the wire, but Charm Way, I think, can get that covered up trip with Forest Boyce. Boyce knows this mare. Let's get it done at a good price.
And Charm Way is a horse that runs well fresh also.
Yeah.
The 10 Strutter Stuff's coming off a really good performance. First time routing for Madison Myers. We have a video spotlight for Strut Her Stuff's most recent race.
Yeah, we thought after the return try going 5.5, it hinted, hey, they're going to stretch this filly out by exaggerator. Yes, they did, and ran well. Just unfortunately is caught down inside here in the blue. Waiting, playing the waiting game at the quarter pole. All in all, it was a good trip till there, and I just had to navigate through a little bit of traffic here, the final 3/16 of a mile. Finally finds the seam, rolls through to the inside, only beating about 3/4 of a length, just outfinished. Those outer horses had a little bit more flow there late, just kind of had the momentum.
No, I thought this horse ran just fine because that pace was really solid. And she was up close to it in the early stages. You saw Bella Brights come from way out of it. The race was dominated by closers.
Yeah.
I think Strutter Stuff this time is just going to settle back, let the speeds go, and try to come with one run. It's nice to know that she could handle the distance of ground. That's really a big key point for her. I want to talk a little bit about the 11, Atlas Strong. This is a horse who...
Tim Woolley.
Well, Tim Woolley, last time on turf, not bad. Took advantage, though, of a very fast pace. There's a chance this pace heats up for her.
You're going to need it. Beat Next Girl, who's a horse that's been thriving for Robbie Bales. We're going to see that one today as well. But I think Atlas Strong is another going to need a little bit of flow. It's going to be provided. Payout ratio is quick in Bay Street again. So those two are out there. Anybody else?
Wonderful lady.
Yeah, this Delacour, he's got a couple in this race, and I think they both have to be used in your exactas. First time in the barn. When the blinkers went on, 2 races back on a yielding turf course. Now we're going to get back to, of course, with a little bit of firm ground. Lute Warm in there was in really good form. The 3rd place finisher came back to run well, or ran well prior in a 2 other than, I think, believe one a 2 other than. Company lines are there, freshened up. That really not concerns me for Delacour. Yeah, wonderful lady. She's got enough positional speed, too, to lay close enough by the time they leave the 3/8.
You're going to go with the 4, though, Charmed Way for Brittany and Forrest. I'm going to go with the 9, Pulp Fiction for Graham Motion, trying turf for the first time. 4:10.25 for Keith, 9:10, 11:7 for me in race number 8. Let's move to race number 9. First leg of our final pick 3. 5.5 furlongs on the turf, stake bred or sired allowance. Take out the 5, Athletic Star. Take out the 7, Tick Tock Daddy. Let's start things off with your top pick. We have a video spotlight on the number 1, Noah Chance.
Noah Chance at Pimlico. Noah Chance has been on the turf 3 times and has run well every time. This was the most recent race off a pretty good break from April of 24 to May of 25 at Old Hilltop. Rail blocked 8th pole is the comment and just had nowhere to go. Shot down to the inside thinking that seam was going to be there. Did the X-Men at the 3/16 pole. Unfortunately, just paused, waited. Finally gets through late between horses, but it was just a little bit too late. Claudie Boy is also in here, makes a good run from the outside. These two, tough to separate, but Noah Chance definitely had the tougher trip.
The key to this race is whether the number 10, Jack's Legend, can still run or not. He hasn't been seen in 587 days. When we did see him, he ran some really nice races. He won his debut going this 5.5 furlong distance. He ran 3rd in the Maryland Million Turf in only his 2nd lifetime start. And then his most recent start at Laurel was pretty good as well against open first-level allowance horses. Where's he been? And it's not a good sign. But he does come back as a gelding. He's with Kenny Cox. Kenny's protecting him in here. I think this horse showed a lot of ability. He might need 1 or 2.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get some speed. There's no doubt. There's a couple of horses in here that want to go. Yeah, where's he been? But he's a first-time gelding. Tad the toe, we'll see. And you got J-Rod to ride. I'll use him just slightly underneath. I was impressed by the 6, the debut of the turf debut, right, for Davy Jones.
Davy Jones was coming off of a long layoff. He was near the back of the pack. The horse up front was coming off of a long layoff as well, got the jump on him, and Davy Jones really fired, showing a lot of agility, angling in between horses and then kicking on strongly home. He's run well on dirt. He's possibly found a home on turf. This is a horse that's giving up a little bit of experience against some multiple winners, but he has a lot of upside. Claudie Boy is just a horse that you can be dependent on to give a solid performance. He was in against open allowance horses at Pimlico last time out, and he got wired by a very sharp favorite in Bourbon Boss. He should get a much better race flow here.
I completely agree. This is a horse that was improving prior to the break. He came back off the left. Oh, he's going to – no, he's actually improved. He was trending in the right direction before the break. Now, I think he's just a better horse. You said it. Bourbon Boss was able to control things up front. Any kind of contested pace, Claudie Boy's going to come firing. You saw him in that video. He was finishing well outside of Noah Chance.
And he got Ride Diggity Dog in there for fourth. This is a horse coming off a really sharp win last time out for Hugh McMahon. His turf sprints recently have all been good. Another horse that should get the right race flow.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to improve a little bit, but I like the confidence they're showing. They're going to go from this claimer into the state bred. I think this is just a slight jump, and he might be able to handle it.
And the 4 Jolly Boss just looks a little bit dirtied up to me recently on dirt, down on synthetic at Gulfstream. He was competitive up here last year on the turf, but I'm a little concerned about his running style. He likes to be close to the pace. 1.863 for Keith, 10.864 for me in race number 9. Race number 10, mile and a 16th. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Now there's a 2 other then with an optional claiming price of 40 down to 32. We got a field of 6 in here. The one Beautiful Crazy Girl will be ridden by Michael Sanchez. We both like Next Girl in this race. I'm a little bit concerned that this pace might not set up for Next Girl. Next Girl's been competitive on turf, and Next Girl loves the turf to dirt move.
Loves the turf to dirt move. This horse is run really, really well. And again, this is another one finished up 24 in really good form. Tried the turf in the last 2 since the little bit of a break, and she's held form. I think Next Girl is going to get a little bit of flow. I think you've got a fresh, Beautiful Crazy Girl from the inside to go ahead and go. And let's go to a video spotlight horse, Low Country Magic. I think this Ignacio Carrejas horse coming in off of a race in Indiana has a chance to be part of it and mix it up, because you don't want to let the one go ahead and go clear and control things. She shows she's dangerous, and we've got some interesting weather here. If the track comes a little bit with some moisture, you might see Beautiful Crazy Girl really relish that, but Low Country Magic was game.
Very, very game, and this was a nice confidence boost after facing some really tough horses down at Fairgrounds and Churchill at Keeneland. She just refused to lose this race, and the Beyer speed figure jumped back up to a 76. We'll see if she gets burned out a little bit chasing the number 1. We have to talk about Beautiful Crazy Girl, because you look at her races 2 and 3 starts back, she runs either one of those, she wins. I was disappointed with her last race. It's 1-2. Just looking at the races that day at Parks, you wanted to be inside. She was inside. She was on the lead. She couldn't hold it. Now a little bit of a layoff. Maybe it was just one race too much after 2 hard performances, and she'll benefit from the break. She's got big speed. She's got to take advantage from the rail.
Yeah, she's a tricky read, though. Again, you look at it, I mean, since stretched out, maybe that's what she needed, because she turned into a different horse. Her sprint numbers were just average when you really kind of break it down. But yeah, she ran 2 lights out races. Dr. Abby's a good horse. I mean, we've seen her run around here. But you're right, she was supposed to win that day, and she got beat. She's been off now a little bit. Maya Tosca, the 2 I'm going to throw into the mix for Ness. I just think she's a little bit better going out to 2 turns.
And we'll see if Cluck Cluck's good enough.
Oh, Cluck Cluck,
She has won 3 of 4 since being claimed by Claudio, and she's won her last 2 like breaking sticks. A really good feature here in race number 10. 6.253 for Keith, 6.315 for me. We'll wrap it up with race number 11 on the turf. Mile and a 16th. It's a maiden special weight. We've got a field of 8. It is for Maryland-bred or sired performers. We've got Callie Single in here, the number 5, My Brazilian Girl, and why not? Not only does My Brazilian Girl's Beyer speed figures tower over this field, but she did have trouble in her most recent start. We have the video spotlight to show this break. This is being bumped hard at the break.
Yeah, pretty violent. Just knocked off stride right from the get-go. Really difficult to recover in a big field of 13 at Old Hilltop, but was able to kind of get it together, settle, found herself far back, circles about 5-6 wide here, turning for home. But all in all, I thought the finish was good enough. Lasix going back on today. blinkers going on today. You're looking again. Granuel, maybe we'll try to go ahead and go from the outside. Pegster could possibly be close, but I think with those kind of combinations, and you've got a chance of coming away a little bit cleaner, I don't think My Brazilian Girl is going to be too far out of it once they turn for home.
Simply the horse to beat is My Brazilian Girl, facing state-sired and bred horses for the first time. I'm going to take 2 shots against her, though. The 7 Amy Symphony has not been seen in over a year. That is a big question mark. But she's bred for turf, being by Mendelssohn. She's a half to Gould's Night Out, who was a stakes-winning turf sprinter, earned an 88 buyer. The dirt form was good before the layoff. The layoff is concerning, but I think maybe she's going to be ready to go against a horse like My Brazilian Girl, who's shown that she could be had in the past, albeit not against this company. And Pegster is another horse that I think I want to use because she can be close to the pace. Those fractions were solid last time out. 24.08, 24.42, 25, and then a deep closer high view came and got her. It was a good performance on the turf. She's going to work on a nice trip on Torrealba.
Much improved. She's found her home now. On the turf course. I'm going to throw in a couple strangers, maybe some prices to add into your exactas tries in Super. The 3 Arise My Love, Milan Milosevic. Bottom side that mare, 3 for 10. On the turf, a stakes winner. Good there, and she's done nothing wrong. She's been second in all 3 starts. Brings a finish, and I'll toss in the one. I just like to comment. Steady break. Cantered, looked at the family, Brushed by Love, makes this horse a half to Gold Digging Broad, who won a couple big races over the turf course. Out of that race, Roja just missed in the Stormy Blues. 7th place finisher, another Trombi, came back to win. Interesting little price shot. The 1 missed out of my way. My
Brazilian Girl, the horse to beat. 5.831 for Keith, 7.524 for me. Best play time. Where you going?
Man, we're getting through that. 11 races today.
Got 12 tomorrow.
We only got 18 minutes to post. I go to 8th race, number 4. If you ever get a chance to get Brittany Russell at any kind of number close to 10-1, it's a big field. Recent form a little bit dirtied up, but the barn change. It's worked before for this owner and trainer combo. Charm way to sit a pocket trip with Forest Boys.
I'm a little bit earlier in the card with my best play on this Friday card. Race 5 to 7, Tapazar's Temper, hoping for an outside stalking trip off that solid performance at Monmouth Park. 17 minutes to race number 1. We are fast. We are firm. Callie Francois, Dave Rodman will take you through the remainder of the Friday afternoon card. Let's go up to the Voice of Maryland Racing for scratches and changes.
All right, good luck, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Laurel Park. 17 minutes to post time. Main track fast, and the turf is firm. Temperature in the upper 60s, cloudy skies now. Here's a look at your Laurel Park changes. In the first race, scratch 2, Massacato. Scratch 7, Coaches Meeting. Scratch 9, Forest City. Scratch 10, Fan Club. Scratch 11, Good Luck Chuck. Scratch 12, Kendama, and scratch the 14, Van Z. Second race, no changes. Third race, scratch number 3, Holdout. Jockey on the 7, My Imagination, Michael Sanchez. Michael Sanchez on the 7. Scratch 12, Lil Sebastian. Scratch 13, Steady John. Fourth race, scratch 1, Doc's Miracle. Scratch 2, Kinda Crazy.